Upon arriving around the central table, Asum revealed himself to actually be Raishan, the Green Dragon and member of the Chroma Conclave that you have not seen since the original attack of Iman, and left you last with the bombshell bit of information that Raishan's here to make an alliance. And as you are as well, Raishan is interested in the destruction and downfall of Thordak the Cinder King. And that's where we're going to go ahead and pick up. So, having just revealed through the somewhat transformed eyebrows, eyes, and upper face of the hairless, tattooed and scarred side head of Sikar Asum, you can see the reptilian green scale spill about and the kind of glowing yellowish reptilian eyes peeking through. The voice modulates into more of a deeper but thin, reedy hiss after Asum looks to you all as Raishan and says, I wish to kill the Cinder King. Now, you accept my alliance.
That's it.
Thordak is becoming irrational, insane, intent on stripping Teldore of its gold.
We're just supposed to trust you?
No, I assumed you'd ask questions. I'm an open book. What do you require?
Why in the fuck should we trust you?
But not to satisfy his greed. For another purpose.
What purpose?
Enough of this yapping!
You shouldn't, to be perfectly honest. I am a being that rides the line between what's true and what's false, and I know your research has spoken the same. However, strange circumstances make for strange bedfellows. And circumstances as they are, I think you have very little choice. As do I.
What do you claim your motives to be?
Listen for a moment, and I'll tell you a bit about the history of this green dragon before you. My home is south of here, within the jungles of the Rifen Mist Peninsula, along the southern side of the Stormcrest. That is where I met the Cinder King nearly 2 decades ago, when he encroached upon my territory. Now, we battled then. An exhausting struggle over days. Thordak is keen of eye, however, and older than I. He held his assault. He saw me, and he saw my disease. I was cursed a half-century ago, when I infiltrated and toppled a temple of Melora that was being built by a high druid for her roving peons. As I consumed her last follower, and broke the druid upon her altar, she gave her dying breath to spite me. This sickness that she imparted was merely an inconvenience, but as the years wore on, it spread and worsened. I left my pursuit of base interests and began to obsess over a cure for this before it took me. I burned through servant after servant to find anything on such a disease. Everything failed. Everything. Thordak somehow looked and recognized my ailment. He said, "You are unwell. A rare malady upon you. It will claim you in time. However, I've traveled the world. I've gathered many secrets. And I know how to be rid of it. To burn it out of your system with a fire you will never find. I've done it before. I can burn away the worst of illnesses. Now, I am a creature who can pierce any lie by nature. And I know in my heart that he spoke the truth that day, that dragon. I asked what he wanted in return. He said, your servitude. We made an agreement. He would return once he marked his domain. We discussed the terms. However, he did not return. I grew furious and sought answers, only to find that he was brought low and sealed away by some assembled others. Some fools from Iman.
Okay, maybe a little more yapping.
Everyone in this chamber shares a goal.
Now, it took me years of seeking, but I found his whereabouts. I was not going to let my chance to strike away this bloody curse slip from me. So I met him on the fireplane. For years, I saw his swelling, his pained form. He spoke of plans, his ideas for vengeance and domination. But he would not relinquish the secrets he promised me until I released him. I proposed the conclave. I assembled the others. I negotiated the agreements. I corrupted the binding stone. I prepared the pirate gate. I did everything. And as time went on, Thordak's clarity muddled. It seemed his bindings, the power that he was absorbing, was beginning to drive him mad. We did not have any more time. I needed to initiate the escape before he lost enough to forget our agreement, or the means to even fulfill his side of the bargain. No celestial solstice is planned, but Winter's Crest would have to do. And with Thordak freed, the conclave assembled. Taldore was raised, divided, and won. But Thordak still withheld his words. He laughs at my requests. I see now that he does not mean to tell me, and never really did, as his mind began to go. He enjoys his seat of power over all of you, over me. And I want him dead. I want to watch him be torn apart. I want to see his eyes go cold, and in that very moment, I want to call his spirit back and bind his word to tell me how I can save myself, and then laugh at his misfortune as I tear what's left of him. So that is why I come to you. I have not the power to take him myself.
Thordak will experience all of those things. He will burn and he will suffer. And you will not be there to watch it happen.
The end of the Center King. And if you join me, it is a goal we are capable of achieving.
We know firsthand what you're capable of. Your kind raised Byrodin.
Nearly everyone in our village dead.
Kenneth, you want to feel the burning inside of you? Oh, you will feel it, Raishan. But it will not be from Thordak, or whatever proposed cure he made up. The burning you feel will be from the souls of 10,000 fire Ashari as they sear your flesh. And the last thing that you will see will be my face as I watched you suffer, as you watched a quarter of my civilization burn!
Child, I commend your bravery in the face of certain doom. But think before you give in to such base passions. There is much to be gained by us working together, and so much more to be lost.
Oh, you commend me for bravery? Oh, right, Sean. For someone who is supposed to be so smart, I am not afraid. I know what you are. You are a parasite. You walk around calling yourself a magnificent ancient dragon. You are nothing more than a leech.
Including our mother.
Not all dragons are the same. Some can be cruel.
Some can be clever.
But some can be truthful.
You consumed the energy of my people for years. And we're supposed to just trust you?
Child, your anger is misplaced.
Call me child one more goddamn time!
I move behind Caleth.
I did not slay a single one of your people.
No.
Thordak's release destroyed the top of
Which
that
you did! You unleashed the mad dog, you bitch! This is your fucking fault! He's just a mad king. As you said so yourself, you're the master planner! But your plan backfired, didn't it? So now you've come to us. And you think that you can formulate some other master plan that's still gonna somehow get you what you want. You dumb fool. When will you fucking learn?
Kill
Raishan.
Do not mistake my grace in this room for need of conflict, nor foolhardy wishes.
Thordak did that to you?
Not exactly, but he will be punished nonetheless.
So it's revenge you're after?
Not a stranger to vengeance, are you?
Is that from all intents and purposes on this side of the table, you strike me as a desperate creature who's pretending that he has a choice to be here and has brought excuse me. That is another conversation. You brought very little to the table. We are not impressed with your notions that somehow we can work together. You need us, and this is all you bring.
No, I bring information. I bring knowledge of Thordak.
Where is Assume?
I know where Assume is.
Where is Assume? Let's start with that. Let's stop pretending you have a choice here.
The one you call Seeker Assume is alive. In Iman, still working amongst the clasp. The story I gave you was mostly truth, peppered with necessary deceits to place me here amongst you for the time I needed. He is there to secure survivors against Thordak. I infiltrated the ranks of the clasp, gained his trust, which allowed me to find your whereabouts, and so I came. He sent me on a mission to notify you of his plans, which, by the way, along with Bratoris' Gold Hand and the Clasp's cooperation, they have a plan to strike at the Cinder King.
Insight check. Well, hold on.
Is that a luck?
13. Never mind.
Slippery dragon. There's no reason you'd believe or disbelieve. It's just words to you right now.
Yeah.
What's that plan?
Then you know it can create unusual allies.
So what did he do to you? Lovers quarrel?
It's not what Thordak did. It's what he didn't do.
One that'll fail, of course. You see, they put their knowledge
in what a red dragon is capable of. They believe that by quelling the flames or stoking some nature of the crystal in its belly's magic, there would be a way to stop them. And there is a path to be taken there, yes, but their knowledge is faulty. They don't understand the nature of the enchantment, and should they attack, they will burn in the flames of their own righteousness.
What's your illness?
I wish I knew the extent of it.
And you watch as Assume's form grows a little more green in places, the scales unfolding, and as the image, though still in the halfling form, where the scales rest, you can see a series of deep, purplish black veins that kind of ride up the side of the throat and across the chest and the arms, and they just kind of pulse with each heartbeat.
Trapped in the fire plane, tethered to the soul anchor, Thordak was a pathetic prisoner of flame. Until I snuck through Pyra to strike a deal with him. A runic curse afflicts me, but centuries of survival have given Thordak knowledge of a cure.
It withers my constitution. It makes me weary. And I've sat with this for nearly 100 years. My brain is not dull, but I wish not to have this brilliant intellect waste away into ash because I couldn't find an answer.
So you come before us and you tell us you're weak.
Oh, weak by my standards.
Weak by mine, too.
If we were to work with you, and that is a massive fucking if we were to work with you and Thordak were to fall, paint us a picture. What can we look forward to after that? What happens to you? Where do you go? What happens to Teldore?
I have no interest in this masculine domination. Most of these petty creatures that you call your brethren live amongst their cities, and that's fine. My happiness lies in returning to my home in the Rifle Mist, where I can pillage the eastern and southern coasts, where I can ride out amongst the Viridian Ocean and steal what is necessary to survive and enjoy my network of followers and spies, far away from where you live. If that's uncomfortable, I can find a new
nursery rhyme.
Free me, deceased deceiver, and I shall free you of your ailment.
The bonds of the soul anchor were unbreakable, but with my magic, he gave himself over to it, fused with it, its elemental force nourishing his body, contaminating his mind.
Sounds like a life happily ever after.
If you're uncomfortable with my proximity post the fall of the king, I will happily take my presence elsewhere. Gather my people, my belongings, and find a roost somewhere across the Osmid, perhaps.
I'm comfortable
Meanwhile,
with that being a conversation that happens later.
Well, obviously,
Break
but
any
I don't
promise
believe
anyway.
anything she says.
So it hardly
You're
matters.
sure that Thordak has a cure for you?
I have spent many years trying to untangle what could be the lie behind those eyes. And I am certain there is a confidence with knowing and withholding that is stronger than a strongest of bluffs. And I've seen that confidence in the Cinder King. A cruelty in that knowledge, that smugness.
Is he still insane?
By most standards has been for some time, but it continues to slip. His narcissism grows to dangerous bounds.
You're the White Dragon.
Before we would agree or even consider any terms, we would need the White Dragon removed from the playing field.
Could be a good way for you to show us your loyalty, even though you have none. But no, Raishan, whatever deal we strike does not end in you leaving my sight. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. Even if I have to die doing it.
Amusing. So,
really, this is a conversation about whether or not we wait to try and kill you until before or after the Cinder King. That's fair, I think.
you think because you took surprise upon Umbrasil, the brute, this inferior intellect, that you would have the opportunity to strike me down? You have no idea what I'm capable of, no matter what malady festers within me.
Oh, we know.
This is your home, right, Purcell?
It is.
It would be a shame for it to suddenly no longer exist.
Can we please just fucking kill her now?
I'm not Keyleth. Your threats, they won't bend me, because I believe you. I believe that you would rend this entire city asunder. That's why I'm at the table. I am conscious of where we are. I'm conscious of who you are, and I'm conscious of what you need. I'm just trying to make sure that everybody's clear that the minute that red dragon dies, all bets are off. You know it as well as I do. And you should be wary, because only one side of this table is underestimating the other.
Which side is...
Thank you, Grog.
Can I do a perception check to make sure that this being is actually in the room and is not just some sort of phantom?
We've seen this before.
It's an insight check. Go make an insight check.
17. Oh, wait, am I proficient? No, 19.
19. Okay. The entity you see before you does appear to be physically present, best to your knowledge.
Yeah.
No one's touched it or attempted to, but does seem to be present with you.
Okay.
All right, I love a good story. So, do you have a plan?
I begged him to use prudence. But the Jinn gave him ungodly power.
One step at a time. White Dragon.
Burrow is a beast, simple of mind, eager to kill, eat, sleep. That's about the extent. As long as it's given enough land and cattle to devour, it seems happy. It enjoys the hunt, it enjoys the challenge.
How willing do you feel to be a participant in his demise?
A lot better if you'd be willing to shed a bit of blood.
Get your hands dirty.
Oh, she's already done that.
Our agreement, should this go forward, does not end when the Cinder King dies. I demand the opportunity to converse with the spirit from the corpse. Once that's done, then you may pull your rug out from under me, if you will.
And uncontrollable rage.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Well, I assume once he's dead, either you'll turn on us, or you'll run away. Either way works for me.
Yeah, we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Are you going to scrap with the White Dragon with us or not?
Can you talk him into flying off, leaving everyone alone?
No, I want a dead dragon.
You see, whereas I have the aptitude to know where my alliances stand. Burrow is Of the entire conclave, the closest Thorak has to a lapdog.
So dead then.
Probably the best bet, yes.
Yes, Grog.
I have a question. Do you want to talk to Thordak's dead spirit, or are you after the, big shiny jewel at the middle of his chest?
I have no interest in whatever Chapman shackles him to his insanity. I merely wish to draw from him the secret I've been promised.
Insight check to see if he's lying.
Ditto.
Check. Both of you guys go.
That was not
Oh, that was terrible.
18. But it's not a 20.
13.
Seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah, sure.
Well, yeah, sure he does. She does.
He's telling the truth.
She.
She's telling the truth.
So, once the White Dragon's off the board, then we will hammer out whatever promises can be made. But until then, there's just too many players on the field to say one way or another.
He called himself king, demanded I find loyal subjects, his conclave.
And the cure?
There is no cure.
Then why not slay him yourself? Your magic made him like this.
With that crystal in his chest, neither of us can destroy him alone.
Have you just been here, as assumed this whole time? What have you been doing?
Gathering information like I do.
What do? Sleep in his room? Like a halfling?
Yeah, he wears his clothes and uses soap and brushes with a toothbrush and...
No, I move down to the stables and find a soft bit of hay. Yes, I sleep in his bed and his clothes.
There's a lot of attitude on this one. I mean, it's a simple question. It's gross.
It's pretty gross.
It must be so humiliating for you that you need to turn to us for help. You do have my pity in that regard.
It isn't the most optimal circumstance, but I think we
such
both
as you
have much to gain.
Why do you think Thordak is the only one with knowledge on a cure?
Because everywhere I've sought the information seems to have been destroyed by Thordak once we made the accord.
If you tell us what the disease is.
Because that puny little druid that cursed you. Well, don't forget you're dealing with a puny little druid right here.
But together...
There is no together, bitch! You opened that rift! Half of Pyra is dead because of you!
I freed him, yes. He massacred your people, true. I assume you wish me dead, Ashari?
That's an understatement.
Your wish will soon be granted.
You could take a look if you like, but I myself do not know its nature.
Have you tried greater restoration? Seems to be the solution to all our
The chicken soup of Dungeons and Dragons.
Chicken soup for the D&D soul.
Feed a curse. Starve permadeath.
Starve Stone Skin.
Well, no, please go ahead and continue.
Yes, I have.
What was the question?
I've tried all forms of cleansing magic. I've bent many diviners to my aid, and all have failed. This isn't a simple magic. This was a spirit curse. This was something far more powerful.
Sounds like a job for me. Come on.
You don't have to.
I don't want to.
Your spit smells funny, you know.
Is it 2 days until the White Dragon?
How long do we have?
Wait, will Thordak know if we do something to Voragol?
Of course.
Most likely. Very quickly, yes.
The pain grows worse every day. But I will see Thordak pay for his lies before his plan comes to fruition.
Plan? What plan? This vague bullshit's getting old.
A new order of elemental dragons born of his own spawn. When his brood of eggs in Iman hatches, your world will be bathed in fire.
What?
He keeps close watch on his subjects. He's paranoid and requires us to continuously check in. which I have been.
You've been checking in from where?
How have you been checking in?
Here.
Have my means in my room, yes.
Does he know where you are?
As far as he knows, I'm currently somewhere in the outskirts of Westerun attempting to forge some sort of vengeance for what happened to Umbrasil.
It was a terrible...
If he did find out he was here, it would be very easy to turn the two of them against each other.
Oh.
So when Voragol flew over, did he not sense you?
But I'm very good at avoiding the sight of those who would seek me if I wish not to be seen.
Was he seeking you, or was he seeking Whitestone?
Based on the correspondence that was put out by Thordak, he was very perturbed at the death of one black dragon that you slay. As such, sent a rather large assortment of his and Voragol's, so I have an army to sweep the entire Middle Eastern sides of Taldore in search of you, I presume. Thankfully, your allies put up some sort of illusory barrier, one of which I did not disturb during that time. To whatever consolation that is to our agreement.
It is of great consolation. In fact, I would go so far as to say that I'm willing to say that these talks will continue post the destruction of the White Dragon, so long as these talks take place in Whitestone.
We won't have much time to talk after the destruction of the White Dragon.
We'll have enough. And if there is no Whitestone to hold talks in, there will be no talks.
This is true.
One moment.
My vision.
When will these eggs hatch?
Weeks, maybe days.
I mean, what are we waiting for? We got vesticles.
Vestiges.
Yeah, right, they whooped Umbrasil. Let's charge that castle and whoop him too!
Just game this out for me, friends. If this is all bullshit, and Thordak has sent this little lady here to trick us into traveling with her to Draconia, where Thordak is lying in wait to kill us the second we get there, well then, if we're making a deal for this little lady to kill on our behalf, why do we need to go? Can we just stay in Whitestone and you go kill the White Dragon for us? You're powerful, aren't you? Why do you need us?
You see, if I were to utilize my full potential, which would be required to fell Voragol, idiotic as the creature is, it's still a very dangerous and cunning foe.
Not for you, you're so clever. Yeah, you can just pretend to be Voragol's something, pet hamster for a while until you kill him in his sleep.
Maybe I overestimated your intelligence.
No,
but
carry on.
In doing so would immediately paint a target on my back from Thordak. I think it's best that I remain in his good graces, as we all flank up unexpectedly when the time is right.
He is correct.
I would also say that...
I'm really enjoying that.
I would also say that if she wanted to set a trap with the three dragons on us, they would just all be here right now.
Also, we could have avoided it entirely and just waited for us to go to Draconia, as opposed to just having someone come by to remind us that we were going to Draconia in the first place. It just seems like an awful lot of work.
I still don't really know why we need her to begin with.
You'd be destroyed in a heartbeat. You may have vestiges, but not the one you need. The Plate of the Dawn Martyr. Magical armor that can repel hellfire itself. It has felled dragons before.
I want
We're
something...
powerful enough. Why don't we just kill her now?
Honestly, because it would damage the castle.
Because it would, damn it,
No, don't provoke.
What is that?
She's
What is
really...
that move? Don't do that.
It would damage mine.
You inviting?
And there are civilians.
I'm saying the choice is yours.
Don't do
Either
it.
we work together, or you all fall.
Come on.
One dragon, then we talk.
Even my simple mind sees the advantages here.
Keyleth. All we're debating is the order in which they die.
And it can again.
I don't suppose you brought this thing with you in like a big purse or like a tote?
It resides in Ankarel, located by Umbrasil before you destroyed him.
She was first on my list.
I don't recommend lists. The only reason I'm stopping you from doing this, and I swear this is the truth, is because this is my home.
But this could be our best chance.
There would be nothing left.
Could be the easiest.
Half-elf.
Thousands would die.
Look at me.
She's right in front of me.
Your world view is clouded by optimism that does not belong in Exandria. There is good, there is evil, but this world has been remade many times because life is destruction. You should know this as a purveyor of life in its own right. The cycle lives on. The chaos perseveres. Everything grows, eats, then dies. Or is eaten. You can put whatever fine dressing on it you like.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, sick bag.
Now another treasure hunter seeks it, so time is of the essence.
Raishan, go fuck yourself. Anyone can conjure illusions. This is clearly an ambush, and we are not falling for it. The answer is no.
Would it be enough to watch him?
So she's not making this easy to walk away, you guys!
Percival, Percy is right. You do not want the people of Whitestone to fall like the people of the Ashari.
More deaths do not make it right, Kenneth.
You're gonna
Not right
get
now.
yours. You're gonna get it. Just
To
be
tell me you've
patient.
not claimed a life or two in your time. Do you think your goals and your attempts to save those close to you have not been wrought with bloodshed?
Oh, I know the consequences of every step of my actions. It is you, Raishan, who did not realize the biggest consequences standing in front of you right now.
Do you think you've not stepped on an anthill to get to your destination?
I don't give a flying shit.
I merely stepped on an anthill to get to mine.
You're just fucking winding her up, man.
Understand, there are different levels of thought, intellect, and intent here. I come to you because we have much to gain together, or lose everything by not listening to what I have to say.
Will join us in the fight against the White Dragon.
I will. If you promise to let Thordak's soul be mine.
No, that's not the deal.
We're talking about a second round of negotiations.
We will consider your offer once the White Dragon is dead, not a minute before.
This is evidence of your goodwill.
This is everything of a negotiation, you fool.
What am I getting out of this?
Your life!
An opportunity to prove yourself to us.
A cure to
Chance
yourself.
to take down Thordak. You said yourself you can't do it on your own.
And yet
Haven't
again,
danced with a dragon that now stands breathing.
Your desperation is so obvious.
we walk away and you die. Or we stay and you die.
Here, I aid you. The tearing of Voragal has a show of goodwill.
Yes.
In response, you keep my true nature secret between those in this room.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
He's
That's
great at
fair.
keeping secrets.
You maintain that I have access to the length and breadth of Whitestone.
Wait a minute. Why the length and breadth of Whitestone?
Largely because I have interests in deciding my plan against Thordak. Let's just say some of it may include a trinket or two that have come in your way in your travels.
You all agree with the Ashari?
We're a team.
Without an alliance, I die, as do you. But if that's the path you've chosen...
No, don't let her do it!
Are you like fully aware of what lies beneath Whitestone?
I have some ideas.
Would you like to see it?
I have seen it already.
Have you?
You've been down there.
Yeah, what is it then?
I've been here for some time, my dear.
Then why didn't we meet down there? Why are you so scared of it?
Yeah,
I
if you've
know.
seen it, tell us what it is.
I know.
You know.
Crossing.
You say it first.
I'm not telling you anything. That was not part of the negotiation.
How big is it? If
We are indeed.
Describe it.
One dead white dragon, and then...
Oh, jeez, what is that?
Raishan snaps her fingers. You see a spark, and you notice a brief burst akin to a minor illusion. No sound, nothing, just the image of a tiny black orb.
That'll do.
She's seen it.